I got a job as a forest ranger, and there are a lot of strange things going on. I found on the observation tower a very strange and creepy set of rules for the ranger to follow. Day 2. I can't stop thinking about that scratching noise from last night. What was that? It must have been an animal, right? Hell, I hope it's an animal after all. I'm trying not to think about this list, but believe me, it's hard to do. I took the list of rules with me just in case, even though I feel a little silly. I bet this is someone's joke. It's only my second day and I'm already played out. Can't stop thinking about it. Anyway, I'm currently on patrol, just walking some trails and paths, making sure no one is camping in the woods. It's getting dark. So I think I should head back. I'm just about to make a detour and get on the trail that leads back to my tower, when suddenly I catch a glimpse of a tent. Well, there goes my one real job of talking to the hiker and campers that they need to pack up and leave the woods. This area is for day hikers and hikers only. I'm moving on. The campsite is located in a large clearing among the trees. There is only one reddish-yellow tent and a pit with an extinguished fire. Am I welcome here? Who am I shouting at? You can't camp here. This place is for day hiking only. There is no response. I walk closer to the camp and stop at the spot where the campfire was, in case something jumps out of the tent. Yes. Given all the circumstances lately, I fear absolutely everything. I say hey hi again. Anybody here? I'm the forest ranger. My name is Oscar. Silence again. Now I'm starting to feel very strange. Something was wrong with this place. I can't explain it. It was just a creepy and unexplainable feeling of dread. I'm sure whoever is camping here is just walking around somewhere nearby and will come back, but it's almost dark, which made me even more anxious. Wait, there was a rule about that. Now I pulled the list out of my pocket and quickly went through it. Sure enough, Rule 8. If you find a campfire at night, somewhere, and when you approach the place you hear a woman screaming, run to the tower as fast as you can. Okay, that's understandable, but I didn't hear a scream. It's just an empty camp, and even the campfire's out, it's not even warm. So no one's been here for a while, so I decide to use the walkie-talkie to call Allison. Allison, hey, listen. I came across someone's campfire. There's no fire, but it's out. Apparently the people aren't there either. I tried to call out to them, but no one's responding, so what do? Where is it that Allison answered instantly? I pulled a map out of my backpack, dedicated my flashlights, and gave her the coordinates of that place. I realized it was almost near the border of my zone. I'll go there now, and you just go back to your tower? Allison replied. Okay. Are you sure you won't need help? I asked. Yeah, I'm sure. You'll be fine. Just go back and be careful. Okay. All right, and to the pros, I will contact her later when I get back to ask how she is doing. I was walking about 30 minutes to my tower when I saw a fresh trail. Oddly, I don't remember seeing it on the map. I thought the trail that went straight and no branches off to the sides, it shouldn't have, figuring I just hadn't noticed it this morning when I was researching trails. I continued on my way to my tower. I'll look again later, just in case. When I got back, I sat at my desk, staring at the damn rules. I never asked Allison about them, and I don't want to, unless something even weirder happens tonight. Was nothing out of the ordinary. I just found an empty campground, didn't hear a woman screaming. So it was normal. I sat in the cabin. About 20 minutes when Allison got on the phone. Oscar, listen, I'm on the spot here is the guy. And he says he was going somewhere for a while and he didn't know it's not allowed to camp here, explains Allison. Now we're going to his car. He's gonna take his stuff and leave. I'm fine. Got you. Allison, thanks for handling this misunderstanding for me. Good night. I feel bad because she went over there by herself. It's my lot and my problems though, and I'm just lying here on the bed getting ready for bed. I hope she is not angry at my helplessness. Came the next morning. The night was peaceful, no problems. I feel safer now than before. I left the list on my desk today. I spent the morning in a good mood eating a lot. I think my appetite is growing because of all those walks in nature. Then I stood looking at the forest from my hut for a long time. It's a very calming sight, and now it's time for my nightly detour to make sure no one is camping on the property. But first, I want to check out that weird trail. I looked at the map this morning. And I'm actually not wrong. It's not on it. That trail. I get to it pretty quickly since this place is relatively close. I would like to say that there are a lot of bushes and grass. The trails of our hiking trails need to be constantly maintained, and dangling branches need to be trimmed. Otherwise, they get overgrown, and it's hard to walk. And this new trail was fresh, as if it had been cut not so long ago. It's a mystical place to be, in a word. So I'm walking along it. It's a bit uphill, but it's not too hard to walk. I walked for about 5 minutes, and then I see the end of the path. There's trees and bushes all overgrown and crazy. I was about to turn back when I saw a small red handkerchief tied around the branch of a neighboring tree. Curious, I walk over to it, and just as I try to untie it, I see one more a little deeper in the woods. And behind this one is another one. I find 5 handkerchiefs all red. No writing or anything, and I'm about to walk over to one more. The difference is, this one was lying on the ground. All the others were on branches. I look around and don't notice anything else. This is a little annoying. I sigh and bend down to pick it up and see what the hell it is tied to something. Something wooden and heavy. I try to lift it up and realize that the wooden lid of some sort of bunker is being opened. That's pretty damn cool. Literally about 15 meters deep and the same width. There's even a ladder. I turn on my flashlight and see a sleeping bag and a video camera down below. I climb down the ladder, which is pretty sturdy, by the way. It felt like it had been done well and recently. Actually, the whole bunker seems pretty clean for being an underground bunker. Usually there's a bunch of junk, dust, junk and dirt. But here it's just a sleeping bag and a camera with a charger connected to the camera itself. But obviously the charger isn't for wall outlets, because it's a freaking bunker. I pick up the camera and try to turn it on, but it won't turn on. It's a relatively modern camera with a picture view screen on one side that looks pretty good, aside from a small scratch. The main lens of the camera has been smashed. It looks like its shooting days are over. I'll charge it later when I get back to the tower. I'm thrilled with this find. I'm burning with curiosity to find out what's recorded on it and what pics. There's a need to be sure to let Alice know about it, but not until I get back or she'll know I'm not on my rounds and I'm going back, damn it. You'll never guess what I see where the campground was last night. The same tent again. Looks like the dude's back, or he never left. Alice and I walked him to his car with his stuff, and he left. This guy. Came back thinking he could sneak up unnoticed. Okay, I look over there and I see the same reddish-yellow tent. The only difference is that this time there is a bonfire burning, which was the only source of light, not counting my flashlight. Yes, it's already dark again by this point, annoyed. I figure I'll deal with this guy now and then give Allison the good news that I've dealt with him myself. This time I walk over to the tent and open the entrance without warning. I don't care if I scare him. He shouldn't be here and he knows it perfectly well. I look inside and there is no one and nothing. I mean nothing at all. No person, no sleeping bag, no backpack. Just nothing. There's a fire burning hard behind me. I turn toward it, examining the trees behind its fiery glow. It feels so eerie, like someone is watching me. I quickly kick the burning wood to the side and pour the rest of my drinking water on it to put out the fire. I am instantly plunged into total darkness. The fire is out. I keep the flashlight pointed at the ground because I can't look at the trees behind the campfire, still feeling uneasy. Suddenly, an eerie scream coming from behind the trees growing right behind the campfire pierces the silence of your mother. It was a scream I could never have imagined even in my worst dream. It was a scream of pure, more pure, enrage. A dark figure bursts out from behind the bushes all the while screaming and starts running in my direction. I only get a glimpse of part of its silhouette before turning to run, but I notice a human figure. A woman with long hair and arms that were just dangling from side to side as she rushed towards me. I'm running through a forest I don't really know yet, trying to stay on track. I assume I'm running towards my tower. She hasn't stopped screaming, still. Chasing me, the distant scream I hear pierces my thoughts, making a steep turn in the path. I'm already starting to scream myself and I can't even hear myself over the background of her scream. I'm halfway to the tower. I look back. Shit! I can't get away from her. What the fuck? The screaming is getting louder. She's almost catching up to me like hell. She can still scream and run. So fast the fucking tower I can see the dim glow of the lamp I left in the shack. There is hope upstairs, if I can make it upstairs in time. I run up the stairs at full speed. The winding stairs are uneven. So I stumble every few steps, but I haven't quite lost my balance halfway up yet. I can hear her reaching the first step. She's really fast and I can hear it, but I think I can make it. I'm at the top. I run into my cabin. When I slam the door, the screaming suddenly stops. I'm huddled against the door, barely, holding my flashlight like a weapon ready for battle. The sudden silence doesn't immediately help calm me down. At least when she was screaming, I knew where she was. But now I don't. My ears are still ringing and I'm still holding on. But I'm still shaking. It's been an hour since the screaming stopped and I haven't heard another sound. My adrenaline has come back to normal, but I'm still terrified. I feel like every hair on my body is standing up. My pants are kind of dry. I'm finally gonna walk away from the door and call Allison. It's better to let it be a joke. I'll be calmer. I turn on the radio station. Allison, out of breath, I say. I'm Allison, answer, please silence. And it was like an hour's silence. But it's only been half a minute or so. Suddenly I hear a hoarse moan. 1. You're not Allison, are you? Hello? Who the hell is this? It was clearly a woman's voice, sounding in pain. What if that terrible damn thing that was haunting me was in Allison's possession at this moment? Just as I was about to try calling her again, something sounded from the receiver again. It was another moan. Only it got louder, and then it turned into a scream. It was the same fucking scream. The same scream that would now haunt my dreams, saturating them with pain and anger. It was screaming through the radio. I hung up the phone and collapsed onto the bed, covering my ears with my Good Morning pillow. Oscar, how did you sleep? Chirped Allison the next morning into the tube of the radio that was lying on Allison's floor. I can't take it anymore, I replied tiredly, due to the lack of sleep and the horror of last night. Tell me what the hell kind of list of rules I found on my desk.